Welcome back to the Berg Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. With me today is Dan.
Hey, everybody.
And Ford.
Hey, how's it going?
And it's that time of the year. We're starting to feel the holiday spirit and doing a little Thanksgiving podcast today.
Yeah, we got all the candy behind us. You know, everybody's gained a couple pounds, getting set up for Thanksgiving here. Try and get into it.
Things I'm thankful for. The gobbler sandwich at Wawa, right? I mean, you know it's Thanksgiving season when all of a sudden the
gobbler shows up.
Yeah, exactly. The little cranberry sauce, the whole deal. I mean, they started a little early.
A lot of people start with like family,
Yeah.
a busy season.
Right.
Before go straight for the gobbler.
He loves that gobbler.
he
That's
does.
been a long-standing love affair he's had.
Yeah, it's like things that are seasonal. That's probably got to be up on the list, though,
It
right? I
is.
mean, you know, like nobody gets excited when the McRib comes back, but when the gobbler comes back,
That makes Ford happy. You know, Mara was talking about Thanksgiving, trying to explain something to the girls, to her sisters about Thanksgiving, and there's parades, and you know, she's talking
right.
about it.
Mhm.
She's trying to explain about the Macy's Day Parade, about
Yeah,
the balloons
right.
and everything. So she said they have all kinds of things. They got giant balloons, they got turkeys, they got mashed potatoes. I was like, wait a second. I said to her, what does the turkey look like? She was like, I was like, is it like a turkey? And she was like, no, not like a real turkey. I was like, well, is it like a cartoon turkey or is it a cooked turkey? And she looked at me like I was crazy.
right?
And she said, it looks like a cartoon turkey. I was like, well, then why would there be mashed potatoes there? But she loves Thanksgiving. Like that's her holiday. Most kids love Christmas or Halloween. She likes them, but
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, she loves to eat
That's
mashed
nice, huh?
potatoes and Thanksgiving stuff. And you could tell that because she weighs, all of like 60 pounds.
It makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Have you ever done the Macy's parade? Like several times we've been like, oh, that looks like it'd be fun, but the people are cold. It does
Yeah,
not.
no,
look
I've done all the Philly parades growing up in South
Okay,
Jersey.
that
I've
makes
done
sense.
all those parades.
The mummers.
The mummers. I'm a
Mummers,
big fan of the mummers parade.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I don't believe I've ever seen the Macy's Day Parade in person.
Yeah, no.
That's another one of those things where it just seems like TV is a much better way of enjoying it.
Yeah,
you're in your house,
like a New
warm.
Year's Eve celebration. Like I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to be there on New Year's Eve, but
People
See, I think I might do New Year's Eve, but I almost did it once and then something happened and it fell through. But it was a friend we knew that got like a bunch of people invited to a party in one of the like corner office buildings where you have.
all right. Well,
so I was
that
inside.
okay, that's different. I'm talking about like in the
Standing out there.
cattle chutes and
My brother
all
Mike
the
has done
bathrooms
that.
are
I think Mike's
closed.
done that once or twice that he's gone
Really?
there. Yeah,
Did he enjoyed it. He had a good time.
He had a good time, but he
Okay.
double income, no kid. I mean, he just
Sure.
does whatever he
Yeah.
wants anyway.
Now we watch it every Thanksgiving morning. That's
Yeah.
part of the tradition
Right.
per se, but it's definitely not been intrigued. It's kind of like going shopping that night for
A
seeing
Black
like
Friday or something.
fist
or-
fights
yeah.
because someone
Oh,
wants
geez,
to
yeah.
save 10% on a purse.
People
or something
knocking
like,
each other
yeah.
for,
It's like
for TVs. Yeah.
you know what? Nowadays it probably stops because everybody just orders stuff online.
Yeah.
But I remember back in the day, you wake up at midnight to try and like go save whatever on something, and it was just like the lines
Yeah.
were out the window, and it was like, oh boy, it's cold. I'm standing outside trying to save 10% on something that I probably
Yeah, if you
I've
have,
never done
don't
it.
need.
Black Friday, and I've never gone, but
So if you had opposite ends of the spectrum, you would have Ford's favorite thing
okay.
could be the gobbler.
Yes.
His least favorite thing, if you know Ford at all, would be
Mhm.
standing in long lines outside
Standing
to
in
buy
line.
something for a mild discount. That's
Yeah.
like the opposite of what
Yeah, that's not for it. at
you
all.
could give away free gobblers and he wouldn't go.
He wouldn't stand in
He'd
line.
be
for
like,
it.
"No, I'm not doing that."
No, I mean, when Wawa has their free coffee, I don't show up that week because it's a bunch of people that aren't usually coffee people. They're
Right?
trying to
Yeah,
get
they're
free
just-
stuff.
They're just getting in the way.
You're just
Yeah.
getting in the way of
Mhm.
Ford getting coffee.
Then
That's- I have-
$2.33 on a coffee.
I have done. Have you done the ice skating? Have you done like Rockefeller Center ice skating? I have done that.
We haven't done Rockefeller. We've been to Rockefeller to see like the tree
Yeah.
but we haven't done the ice skating there. We have done the outdoor ice skating. So we visit family in Pittsburgh every year for Thanksgiving.
That's hey Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They played the Eagles a little while back, didn't they?
Yeah, yes, they did.
How'd
yeah.
they do there?
They did about the same as they've done all season. So
I have a few Pittsburgh people on my fantasy team. That's not very good.
right. It's not encouraging.
It's not helping.
They're in the
me.
rebuilding phase.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
All right, but good.
He's not thankful for that
He's
right
not
now.
thankful for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
No, I feel like they got some stuff going for them. They're just not enough stuff. So
Well, they got the
Eagles
Jersey
are-
kid at quarterback, so
Eagles are good. I mean, the Eagles are they're having a season, and they look like the Bills. To be honest, I mean, Bills and Eagles right now look like two teams that are going to be tough to contend with. So
yeah. I feel like I should have never even brought this up. Just
Yeah.
being a Philly fan my
Yeah.
whole life, I should have
Right.
never brought this up because we're recording obviously a little,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
before this will play out, and who knows where we'll be by then. But
I mean, speaking of which, there's something you can be thankful for. Philadelphia sports are
Philadelphia
actually back on
sports.
the.
Mhm.
man,
It's
I mean,
been a couple years.
it's
been a
been
little
a
dry
couple
spirit
years, and
By the
we
time
can-
this airs, we might not be so grateful.
yeah,
but
we might not be so grateful. We'll be more angry about it. But I mean, yeah, right now it
we
is
might be
crazy.
really excited though.
We
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
really
yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
Could be some serious parades and.
Could be fun.
Yeah, I saw something. It was like a picture of Reese Hoskins, and
Yeah.
it said, "If you're fans, if you don't have to grease light poles after the game, you don't deserve to be in the World Series." That was one. And the other one I saw was Houston, we have a problem, with a
Oh,
reference
yeah,
to the NASA
right.
thing.
Yeah, that's good. Good.
Now that we've been officially all over the place, I think that we talked about this. I think last year about how
Yeah.
like the thankful podcast or the once a year thing, and we always talk about trying to do it on a more regular basis. But I think it's a poignant point to really just call out the things that, even if you are thankful for them and you do say thank you and you do try,
Mhm.
you're just really trying to like bottle it all up and get it out there so that everybody understands
Right.
just truly how thankful you are to be part of the team with them, and also to all the different things that they've done. Like we've talked about before, the fun committee to the, the team members that go outside. Right now we got some good weather, but in all different weather and get work done and all the different things. And then of course, outside of here at the company, the family, and all those and friends and all that stuff. So I mean, you could really make that real generic list. Like, every Thanksgiving we go around the table and it's what are you thankful for? And it's like, you might as well just like cut the first 5 things off the list because everybody can't come up with anything original.
Right.
And that's not what it's about, but it's just, naming out like,
Yeah.
your wife, your kids, your family. And
It's
it triples down from there. If I can ever get that word out. I
It's
got 4 words, none of them are the correct one.
I don't know if any of those were
Trickle.
right.
Oh no, try trickle down
There
from
it
there.
is, you got it.
Not triple. It's not
Yay.
not triple. But it goes for like that.
Yeah. That's interesting. That is a challenging thing to do. I don't know why. Why is it so hard? Maybe it's not everybody, but it's hard to like say thank you or be grateful for things without sounding cheesy or generic, right? I struggle with that at least. And actually, I was talking about this with someone recently, and sometimes like I think my own like desire for formality. And we talk about your dad in this way, right? So Tom is grateful for his job 52 times a year. And that's an old school way to look at it. Like he got his paycheck and he's like, that means I did my job. They still want me here and I'm going to keep working here and I'm grateful for that. Right. But Tom doesn't necessarily come off as a guy who says like, I am grateful that I have this job. Right. But he is. And in the
It's
same
more to the nonverbal communication variety.
Yeah, but sort of in the same way when we go through this sort of exercise, so to speak. I don't know if that's probably a bad way to say it, but I sometimes feel like I'm being cheesy or generic when I start to talk about like the things I'm grateful for, because I think in some weird way I just take them for granted. And I shouldn't, but I assume that these things will continue to happen, and while I'm grateful for them, I don't express it.
Yeah, I find with myself, it's one of the ways I think we operate a little differently. Is I at times, I like you, I have trouble just saying like I'm thankful for this, but I sort of feel it in a way that you look at everything you have and you just sort of step back and you say like I really, if you could have told 18-year-old me that this is where you'd be like you couldn't express how thankful you would be, whether it be with family and kids and your wife and, just everything that goes on in your job and who you work with. Every day I think we take for granted how amazing of a place we work at, genuinely, and like we have these sort of conversation and Ford's sitting here, but I hate to say Ford's irrelevant, but I'm like, it's not because he's sitting here.
Only
It's not-
52 times a
Only
year
50
relevant.
Yeah, 52 times a year, Ford's real relevant. But what I mean to say is it's not that Ford's here. That's not the relevant point. It's that it's this group of people who are all pulling in the same direction, feeling sort of the same things, and they're here because that's where they want to be. You know what I mean? There are many people in this company that could leave and go somewhere else. And, you have the labor market the way it is, you have everything else, but they're here because they want to be here, because it's a place that they want to be. And that just speaks to how thankful you are to be here. And from my perspective, makes me that much more thankful about it. You know what I mean? You go to any job, and I like to meet up with the guys that are there. We've done a better job over the past year, I think, of talking to people, and I think the podcast is actually like an odd thing that I'm thankful for. You know, because when they came up with this idea, when Bill came up with the idea, we're like, man, whatever, maybe we'll try it, we'll see. You know, now that we do it every time, I mean, you have guys on and you get to talk to them and you get to see their personalities, you get to hear them, you get to interact with them outside of, you know, just in the pure normal work environment. We get to get our messages across. I mean, how many times, you know, how many opportunities do you have where Brian, Ford, and I are on the clock and we're being paid to have a conversation, to just talk to everybody about what's going on? Like that's a solid company. You know what I mean? You talk about the baseball event or the trunk or treat, or, you know, any number of the things we do. You know, we had some guys out for a golf outing. We had people down in Georgia together. You know what I mean? Just, you can put a lot of, you can almost spin a wheel and just pick 5 people and say, we're going to go do this with those 5 people, and you'd be okay. Cause and that's not true of a lot of companies, you know? So, I mean, I'm really thankful for that. And I feel fortunate to be involved in it, you know, to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it actually just struck me while you were talking, on topic, off topic, that we've been doing this for a little over a year.
Have we really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Because I was just like, I think we had a Thanksgiving podcast last year. And so that to me is interesting, because when we started this, just like you just said, we were like, is this even what are we going to do here?
Well, who would want to listen to us?
Who wants to listen to us? I'm still surprised that people listen to us.
I'm still shocked that people want to listen.
But to
Or
that,
if they do listen.
I don't know.
But to that end, yeah, that's interesting to me that we've been doing it actually over a year.
It was like
now.
number 50, something. We're almost to number 60 now.
56, something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Erin said she was going to start listening, which
It's scary.
concerns me a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you do that? You said you don't want to listen.
Yeah. But you know, the other thing I just thought of was I
I
think
don't need that user. I don't need one more listener.
one more listener. I think I may have talked about it last year during the Thanksgiving one, because then that's what made me remember this. The John Gordon thing. He does like the thank you walk. I don't know if you guys are familiar with John Gordon. Maybe we've had that conversation before. But
yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. I remember that conversation and how we were talking about the fact that, you know, instead of doing it once a year, we were trying to do it, you know, more. And, you know, even just hanging up the phone from a team member to say thank you. Like, it might not be to anything specific, but it's just part of that, what you were kind of getting at. And that's kind of, I think it's a great refresher to kind of explain how that works.
Yeah. I keep like, every time I hear that, I'm like, I'm going to do that. And I don't. And that's just, I don't know. And I guess because I don't want it to come off as not being genuine. And so, but that's a problem, right? The fear of not being genuine is preventing me from being just a good, genuine human being, or good,
being you.
Yeah.
Just expressing what you were already thinking anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a couple weeks ago, thanks, bud. It was by accident. A couple weeks ago, Brian and I were actually talking a couple weeks ago, and I walked into Tracy's office for a specific purpose. I wanted to talk to her about something, and it was an email, and I felt like Tracy might not be thrilled with what I had said or done, not what I said to her, but how I handled the situation. And so I was going through it. And as I walked out, I said, Trace, I just want you to know, like, I appreciate everything you do. Like, you do a great job. I was just making a one-off decision in a very specific scenario. I didn't really think about other repercussions of it, or, you know, how it would impact policy or anything else. But that's what I try and do personally, is I try to insert when I see something and I realize it, I try and say it right then. Because like you said, if I have to like set it up, and, you know, it's harder when we do the actual events where we go around and we meet everybody and we have lunch and we say thank you. You do a better job of saying thank you at those things than I actually do, whether we're together or separate, because then I feel it. Then I'm like, well, I mean, I'm already here because they know I'm supposed to be saying thank you. So to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like people get a less genuine thank you when I do that than when I just show up and have a conversation, and then I can work my way to saying like, thank you for this, you know? So I think that's one of the things that's hard but it's the shotgun approach that Ford always says, you know, like if we set up events and we hold ourselves accountable to doing those things and having them so that we can interact and we can see each other and we can, you know, say thank you and appreciate everybody, but then also just get out there when we normally get out there and be genuine. Because genuinely, we all appreciate what everyone does. And so as long as you're there, it'll come off.
Well, and I think too, the last couple of years, as we've talked about before, is a roller coaster. There was, a sickness that shut us down, to the inflation, to what we're dealing with now. And it's just like you
It's like
constantly.
Voldemort, like
Yeah.
he who shall not be named.
Yeah, we don't-
Exactly. We won't
Yeah.
talk about we won't talk about it, but
We don't
everybody
talk
knows
about
what it is.
Bruno.
No,
Exactly.
Bruno, it's going. Yeah, I don't even watch Harry Potter, but
Yeah.
Voldemort, I know that.
Yeah, I know that.
And so with that, like you just, everything is constantly on edge or whatever the scenario is. And so, trying to, the small things, that's what really, seems to have to be more important, just because they are the little things that, adds up to the big thing in the total. But it's just those little, incidences that happen that you're like, oh, you know what, that was really cool. Or this guy did something, trying to get those out there when you can, because they're the little shining, they're the little stars that pop up.
You know what I would really like? I would like proactively be thankful for is, as Ford's saying it about, inflation and everything else, is like a return to normalcy. Like if we could just get back to because we all know what normal was, what it felt like to some degree. I mean, it gets skewed and you have like a better version of it in your head. But just if we can get back to the point where we can all just get along, have a conversation, work together, not be at each other's throats and not worried about, a pandemic or inflation or anything else, at that point, if we can do that, I'd be thankful for that, because it's just, appreciate what you have and
Yeah.
stop worrying about everybody else.
I haven't heard it recently, but the new normal, like that phrase,
Yeah,
just
the new
just
normal.
feels weird.
Out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah, out of an
Out of an abundance of caution for the
Yeah.
new normal, like it's
But
just,
it's funny because we're chasing a feeling,
we are.
right? Like, and we actually had a conversation, totally different
Totally
conversation
different.
about that earlier. But we all want that feeling that things are normal, things are
Right.
the way they're supposed to be, whatever that means, whatever
Yeah,
that looks like.
Because it's funny, right? Because I don't think, to me at least, normal for me does not have to be level. It doesn't have to be like calm. I'm not overly upset by like, change. You know what I mean? So it's not, it's that it's just that things have changed in a way that they're volatile. Like I think we've all grown tired of volatility. You know what I mean? Like volatility in anything, whether it be economics, politics, health. Like let's just get back to staying between, roughly between the lines, which is crazy to hear me say, like as I say it, because I'm not
Yeah.
that way. But it's just I feel like we've so expanded what's acceptable and what we're anticipating, what we're planning for. And that's what's scary, is that's coming off of an amazing run economically and company wise. I mean, the industries have done great. The economy has done great. You've really done well. And yet we're like, well, this isn't, so maybe we've just gotten too sensitive. Maybe I'm sucked into this as well, where we're too sensitive and we just need to man up, for lack of a better term, and just say like, we're going to get through it. I mean, I'm not worried about it. We're going to get through it. It's just, maybe it's not supposed to be easier. What do you think, Ford?
When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Something along that line.
Yeah, I still like Ford's. The one that we can never get right about: tough times make hard people make good times make soft people people make bad times make good people. I think
It's
I
a
got
rotation.
there. I think I got
Yeah.
there, but with the wrong words. But that's it. That's the rotation.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think I've heard you say that.
He's
Have I?
tried many times. We've tried to get there.
I
Yeah.
keep looking for it on one of those memes so I can
Oh,
save it in
so
my
that you
phone,
can-
kind of like
yeah,
the 7P one.
yeah.
I was like, I know it like in general, but
Okay.
I can't get it out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as you can see, I can't even say trickle. So I mean, good luck trying to get
Wow.
to something like
You
that
said
down.
trickle twice now. So he's too hard on himself.
That's two trickles. Yeah.
That's two trickles. That doesn't sound right. We may have to edit.
That's what I'm thankful for. Yeah.
All the
Ford's
trickling,
thankful for editing.
editing. Yeah, I'd like to scratch that from the record, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, thinking about, what we've seen people grow, and take on new tasks and try new
Yeah.
things and, external, internal, all those, factors just really, it's quite interesting to see people's growth. I think that's really what, at this point, I enjoy the most, is just seeing people, get out of their comfort zone or whatever we were just talking about, but just try something new. And then they succeed or don't succeed, but at least they're willing to try. I think that effort is really, everything else is standard, but the effort is where you really can differentiate between things you're thankful for
Right.
and those you
Yeah.
aren't.
Yeah, a lot of things that you can't teach or coach, and that's when you see it, you're grateful for it, right? We're thankful. We've got a lot of folks on our team that do things that can't be taught or coached, give effort when effort isn't even expected, and show up day after day, even when, other people are not showing up for the same reasons. And yeah, that's definitely worth being thankful for. I agree.
I feel like this would be a Brian one here, but it's
Mm.
something that one of Mara's coaches always says about the only thing you can control is your effort and your attitude. And that's
Mhm.
like a Brian coaching thing,
Yeah.
but it's true. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of people who do a great job with effort and
Yeah.
coming in with a great attitude, and it makes the thing go.
Right.
It's what makes us go.
Yeah, a lot of things that take zero skill, right?
Yep. Well, and
So-
that's, it's
I mean, skill's important.
skill's important, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but there are a lot of things that take zero skill.
I'm really, the other thing I'm really thankful is that people stick with us. You know what I mean? Like we're all trying to, they believe that we're trying to pull in the right direction together, and they stick with us. And I appreciate that, because it hasn't been an easy 3-4 years here where we're trying to get where we're going and stay on course. And it hasn't been easy, and the people have stuck with us. So, I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and we, I think we're transparent enough to say that we haven't figured it out. We don't always know the answers to all the questions, but I think genuinely trying to do what's best for our folks has led to some of that.
Yeah, I think just from, my perspective, to kind of sum it up, is there's not one particular thing, and the cliches are just trying to avoid those because they just do sound hokey, but, thankful every day I'm not laying vertical permanently, things of that nature. But the reality is that, it's a joy to come to work. It's a joy to go out in the community, because I know the team is doing a great job, and I'm not trying to defend or anything like that. And people, walking into random people, and they're like, "Oh, your guy did this for us or helped out with that." Those are the things that really, cherish those moments per
Right.
se. And so, that's the big general thank you to everyone and everything that they do on a daily basis, no matter what their, job is or what their part of the team they are. Everybody has provided something to create a situation that makes it good to be coming to work every day.
Yep, that's probably a good place to wrap it up. So, folks, thanks for listening today. We're grateful that you took the chance to listen to our podcast today, and we're thankful. We're thankful for those who are involved in what we're doing. And while we don't get the opportunity or take the time sometimes to say it often enough, just know that we are. So, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll see you again on another podcast soon.